The Cartel Bazaar is filled with event rep and cartel vendors with some pretty cool, unique, and interesting stuff. So we're going to talk about that tonight and more on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 345. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
It's going really well. I mean, I was just thinking last week I did so much conquest, and it's probably all because of the swoop racing, because I did kind of a slow start on the swoop racing. I did enough to talk about it last week, and then, a couple of days went by and I did it again, and then I kind of got into it, and then I was doing it like on every character, just about. And the first character of the day, if you went and did the weeklies, all 4 weeklies,
Yeah.
that would be over conquest. And then after that, the next character, it would be like half a conquest or 65% of conquest. And so then I would think, okay, what am I going to do to finish this character off for conquest so I could start with a new character, swoop racing after this. So I ended up with like 20 characters to conquest last week. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So how much rep did you bank for?
Okay, so then, because of the way the timing is after, there's that period of time that's after the reset on Tuesday, but before conquest is over.
Yeah.
And I guess it doesn't really matter about conquest for this, but then I was able to click on all my stuff, right away on Tuesday, and I hit the max again.
Okay.
On 2 of them. I don't think somehow I didn't have them quite all in line. Like at some point I forgot to do one somewhere, or I didn't pick up the weekly on one of them or something. But yeah, so I am getting up there in rep. Let's see, let me look at it right here. Yeah, so I'm like Blatant Bex, I'm hero.
Okay. Yeah, that's farther than I banked a couple tokens, just happened to have a couple, but I figured I'm going to take this one slow. I didn't want to grind it out.
Well, I was
myself.
kind of glad that we're going to talk about this in the news, but I'm glad it's coming back soon, but I'm glad they didn't have it for 2 weeks either, because I totally would have burned out.
Yeah.
Because for me, it turned into that kind of activity where every time I ran a race, I would think, oh, next time I'm going to do this a little bit differently.
Right.
Or next time I'm going to do this a little bit differently. And yeah, I would have been stuck. Oh, actually, no, I'm champion. No, I'm almost how do you read this? I guess I'm champion on Blatant Bex, for instance. But you get titles. So at Friend, I unlocked titles for Blatant Bex. It's Demolitionist. For Pit Screamers, it's it's High Flyer. And then for the last one, it's The Fast, which I kind of like.
Oh, Seema the Fast.
Seema the Fast.
Nice.
Yeah, but we have a topical title both of us do today.
Yes, we do.
We'll talk about. So conquest and swoop racing. Also, I did make Trace Comas, and now I'm like 80 million over. So I have like a comfortable, to me, what I view as a comfortable margin now. So which means that if I want to, I can buy a level 50 token for one of my companions, because I still have a couple characters that are running around with no armor and like a level 4, Kira or something. So I can spend some money now. Woohoo!
Always useful. And I have about that much, over 2 billion now. I have like 2 billion and 80 million.
Yeah, and I want to say too, like the main thing I did is I sold stuff that I had already accumulated just by being lazy. Like I had a bunch of stuff that I just had never done anything with. So I didn't craft, I didn't buy low, sell high. I just sold off invasion forces and encryptions and embers and solid resource matrices and I did a little bit of more creative stuff, but yeah. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm like some smooth operator that knows what she's doing. It's just it's just
Still a
dumping things on
billion
the.
credits. So
Yeah, yeah. And so I didn't stop though. I still have some stuff left, and so I'm still selling it. So, like I mentioned to Max earlier in the week that I didn't think I was going to get the 2B bug, the 2 billion bug, because it's so far away now. But I don't know, if I get like over halfway there, I might. So yeah, that's what I've been doing: credits, racing, and conquest. Um, Also MFN and our ops night, which uh, we went into Dread Palace, cleared out the place on MFN, so that was always fun. Max told the story of the Dread Masters in Dread Palace.
mm-hmm.
Tonight in our ops team, we had a tour of all the lair bosses, which is kind of fun because it's like a night of almost no trash.
Yeah, that is the benefit to doing those, and those are always fun.
Yeah, yeah. The most fun one is the Ziost one, where you have to pick up the colors and run to the other side, and while he's trying to kill you. So
Yeah,
that was cool.
for some definition of
So yeah.
cool.
So I think you had a kind of a similar week to me, like that. How's your week gone?
Yep. So obviously we were doing the same things there. I only did enough swoop racing to get through to cap out the rep, and then I stopped on sort of like the next character. So I finished the weekly on whatever character I was on at that point. So I had some tokens left over from finishing the weeklies on that character, which I clicked on today, I think. And didn't bother to grind out all of the tokens and rep that I would need to finish the reputation. Wasn't really into it that much to do that, and figured if I do that, is that going to make me not want to ever do the racing again? If I've gotten all the things and all the rep, and then will I not go back when when we're doing it on a mandatory fun night or when we get a guild event there? So I figured I'd hold back a little bit. But that was still fun. Dread Palace, always fun. I did tell the stories. I did, and in fact, I really like telling the stories. We had people that had never been in there before, so I was telling the story of hey, here's the deal. This is why the Dread Masters. This is the end of their story, and we've been fighting them and all these operations all the way along the way. I even did a little bit of studying up, so I knew like each of their specializations, each of the Dread Masters, what their backstory was. And Raptors is sort of like the unofficial leader of the group, and Calpheus is the master of time and space. He can go back and forth in time. And the one I didn't realize, the thing I didn't realize after I started looking that up was So spoiler alert, I guess, from 7 years ago or 6 years ago. Calpheus on the Republic side, well, I mean, possibly without your knowledge on the Imperial side too, but it's not part of your story. Calpheus lives through the fight in the operation, and he shows up back at the Republic camp. And in fact, you can look up these videos for the end of the Republic story on Oricon, and he comes limping in, takes off his mask, and he's just like an old guy. And part of the fear or corruption that made the Dread Masters what they were and gave them their power, also they were sort of a slave to it, and is that he was sort of freed from that.
I was floored when you told us about that on Tuesday because I do not remember that at all.
Right. I didn't remember it either. And then I read it in like the Wikipedia, and then I looked it up to watch it in the video, and there it is. And you do get a light side dark side choice that you can kill him, which I don't like, because now Wikipedia writes it up as he lives. He shows up, he's in Republic custody. But for some people in their stories, he's not. He's dead. I would prefer if there was just one canon kind of SWTOR. I mean, obviously not Star Wars canon because it's all legends, but that's the problem with the deal of the light side dark choices and choices that matter. So in my head, and I think with the Wikipedia notes, Calpheus being around and in Republic custody and potentially under the, instruction or under the advisory of the Jedi is potentially being redeemed at this point. That's really interesting in some ways. Might
Or
be,
maybe Darth Malgus will come and break him out and turn him back to the dark side.
who knows? Uh, their whole, I mean, they were epically powerful, but most of their power came from all of them working together. They were able to link the power across all of them, and that's what gave them the power to, when you first get to Oricon and all of the soldiers are like, going crazy and they're all, half of them are like mind controlled. That's the power of the Dread Masters. And they would fly around in a dreadnought in space, encounter Republic fleet, and push that force wave of fear and mind control across the fleet, and that's the way they would win. So him by himself, I don't think he's going to be all that useful to anybody. But yeah, still, it'd be a good story. So that was fun. That was fun. The Lair tour tonight, that's always fun, and our group is hilarious. And then swoop races, yeah, swoop races was a thing, and I did them all, and I did the thing. Blatant Becks, that's what I want. I want that one mount. I do like the Blatant Becks speeder mount, and so I'm happy that there's something really cool that I really want, because that'll give me a reason to keep going back. And very soon now in the news, we'll find out when we're going to go back.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
First up in the news, as we've been touching on every week, bug track is still going on. There's not much in the news lately, but the bug tracker, our community team, who is at least scanning the forums, looking for the bug reports, looking for the problems that people are talking about, they're continuing to do that, and we like that. It's still not all that interesting. I'd love more than we'll look into it, because the statement at the almost the end of every single, and there's like 8 or so bug tracks in there. The statement at the end is, we've transferred the information provided to our dev team. We'll inform you when we have more information. Except we never get to the part where we get informed that we have more information. Every once in a while, one of them says, oh, this is something that they're focusing on for the next patch. But you can't just say, every week you can't say 8 times, we'll inform you when we have more information, and then never do it. So inform us.
I think
if we've got more information.
I think maybe what the inform us is the list of fixes that show up in the patch notes, maybe. But I agree with you. It would be nice if they could come back on each issue and say, okay, this is gonna be fixed, and it'll be in the patch notes for such and such.
Maybe that would be nice. So it's not burning me up. This isn't that big a rant about it or anything, as you can tell. You know when I'm ranting. But I don't know what they need to do to get more information. Maybe kill a bunch of Bothans. So maybe if they did that, we would get some more information. That'd be nice. So what else we have in the news, Seema?
So we did get a post that's outlining what the event schedule is going to be for July, and it's surprising. For we're going to get the Super Rally back at the end of July, but just to take it in order. Next is coming next week we're going to get the Nar Shaddaa Nightlife and the Rakghoul Resurgence. So Rakghoul Resurgence will run for its normal, 1 week, and then Nar Shaddaa Nightlife will run for, infinity, starting on July 14th. But actually, it's running for less than a month. So make a note of that, mental note, only a month.
I was typing to the chat room. Did you say something about Nightlife still going on?
Yeah, it's running from July 14th to August 11th, so less than a month.
Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Because didn't it run for like 3 months last time, and it still wasn't enough
We
time for
still,
us.
we still missed it. Yeah.
Oh
So
boy.
we got to get it. We got to get boogie going or something.
All right.
So then on starting on the week of July 28th, then that's when the Super Rally is going to be back. So we'll have another week of racing at the end of July. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, you know, I got
You
some
know.
achievements, but I want to get the next round of achievements.
Right. Right. And I do want to cap out the rep and get the next round of achievements and run a bunch of races. I didn't do all of the, sort of like the racing achievements either, like the perfect racing and perfect, complete idiot or whatever that achievement is. Without a title, a lot of people have said, I think it's perfect idiot where you have to like hit every hazard
That
on the
sounds like
course.
it's made for a title. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no title associated with it. What a miss. But yeah,
That
I'll
is a
do it.
miss.
And I think it is interesting that it's coming back in just a couple weeks. I figured it would be, like 6 or 8 weeks before it would come back and it would go into the regular rotation. And as you said, I too think it's a good idea. It's something new. Let's get it. And I think you're kind of right. Let's don't do it 2 weeks in a row and burn everybody out for 2 weeks. Just piling it up. Uh, put it out there. Have something else. Take a little break and then bring it back before too long, so you don't have to wait because it is a newer thing, and we'll get back to it. Don't make it like when they have a new hut ball and then you go into PvP and uh, you know every round is that new hut ball. That's for a month or whatever. This feels kind of good. I think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
In guild and community news, so the biggest event that we have every summer for AIE, the bigger guild that we have, it's been called Summer of Love for a decade now. We've been doing it probably 10 years now. It's a
Yeah.
week of events every summer. It centers around August 2nd. So this year it's going to fall probably August 2nd to August 9th, or August 1st to August 8th, or August 1st to August 9th, something around there. We're finalizing it in this next week. Every division of ours is going to have some fun things going on every night that week. I bet there will be something going on in some game. Most of the games will continue to have their mandatory fun nights. We've got fun things running on most nights now, but we'll probably be amping that up a little bit. For example, in World of Warcraft, I know they're planning what we call Coop, which is just some random old inside joke name, but it's a PvP run where we get a whole bunch of people, usually often 2 raid groups, and we go and you kill the opposing faction. You go kill the alliance leaders in each of the alliance cities, and there's achievements associated with that. But it's a whole bunch of people doing sort of this thing that you sort of really need to have a serious event to go do. And we do that kind of thing in all of our games. So I know we're going to be doing something really interesting in Star Wars, maybe a couple things that week. Definitely on the Tuesday night of that week. So that would be the 11th. We'll have something big that night, and then maybe another night that week as well. So keep an eye out for it. And if you're into any of the other games that are part of AIE, keep an eye on aie-guild.org. We'll have a blog post up before long, probably in the next week, that explains where the schedule's at so far, all of the divisions that are going to have events, and what that's all going to look like. It'll all be streamed on Twitch as well. So it'll be a really fun thing coming up. And that all centers around, and I've mentioned it before, on August 2nd is the sort of a relatively solemn holiday or event for AIE every year, which is our Remembrance Day. And we have an event the evening of August 2nd every year where we remember real life friends that we've lost, real life guildies that are no longer with us. And that's kind of a really great opportunity to do that with all of our friends and celebrate that. So that will be a thing as well. So keep an eye out. It's coming up. What else we got, Seema? What else is coming up?
Well, I just want to say we've talked about this before, but it would be really cool in SWTOR if we could get a bunch of people together and attack the Imperial fleet from, if you're on the pub side, and the other way around. Just like in WoW, we can do that with the faction cities.
Yeah.
But that would be that would be some kind of weird space battle, which, yeah, we're not set up for that. But still, it would be cool.
I wish you could infiltrate the opposing. We've said this before. Infiltrate the opposing faction's fleet. If we could get on
Yeah.
like the Republic fleet and we could, like some sort of assault shuttle, and we all beam over there, and then we're in, and it's open season. Anybody could shoot us, and anybody that shoots us, we could shoot them. That would be pretty fun, and we could run around the fleet and try to, like, I don't know, kill
Yeah, and it could be like a
NPCs.
server event, get a bunch of people together, like 100 people together.
That would be really fun. That would be really fun. Also, shout out to the chat room. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us. It's always fun to have people in there. I see there's a bunch of chatter in there about the swoop racing. Galahad talking about the hotball maps. Yes, every time they add a new map into PvP, it goes into rotation. It's not the only thing, but they bump it up in priority. So of the random rolls, you'll get it a much higher percentage of time than any of the other maps, unless you were just being sarcastic that never happened. So in addition to just always getting hotball like we do now, then you doubly always get it when they add a new hotball map, which is what I'm sort of getting at. But thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out, and we will catch up with you all more after the show as well. But with that, I think we've got some tags to pop here, don't we, Seema? That's my Tres Comas getting all warmed up. It's time to pop some tags, and here we are in the Cartel Bazaar. And since we're up here, we're gonna jump down in a second so we can tour the facilities. But this is a secret achievement. Well, it's not so secret. It's a bounty contract week achievement, actually, around the Cartel Bazaar, to come say hi to Cartel Security and this sniper. And I think the achievement is called Meet the Overwatch or something like that. And then the title that you get if you climb up here to meet the sniper is the title that we're wearing right now, which is Cartel Security. So by the we'll go do the tour down there, and maybe at the end, because I didn't want to do it live on the podcast, maybe I'll try to climb up here again so you can see the view. But you could look it up too on how to climb up through the rafters and make your way over to here. But this is kind of cool. If you didn't know that it was up here, or you haven't done the achievement before, you didn't look in the achievement list, you never would have known that this guy was sitting up here as security. He's a sniper. He's got his sniper rifle, so don't be trying to steal anything from any of the vendors down there, because that will not go well for you. So yes, this is the Cartel Bazaar. I've always liked the Cartel Bazaar. I thought the design was really good. I thought it was an interesting opportunity to group up all of these kinds of vendors that we have available to us. I always really liked the design. What did you think about it, Seema, when it first got it added and its use now these days?
Well, the main thing, I was not that aware of it until Treeck came on the scene, and then you had to come down here to finish, acquiring her. And so for me, the Cartel market the Cartel Bazaar, not to be confused with the Cartel market, has been basically about companions and then the Jawa vendors. So I'm really haven't taken advantage of the Cartel Bazaar that much.
Right. I haven't very much either, except for that, or once in a while when I need to get one of the other companions, which we'll show in a second, or go visit the Jawa scrap vendors, although you can get those in your stronghold even. We'll show that too. But every time I do come down here, I get a kick out of it. It's a cool looking place. It's a cool design. I like the sort of the decorations when you come down that hallway in the fleet upstairs, and you get to see that you're going down to the Cartel Bazaar. I think they arranged the room well as well. Here's an example of what I mean by that. If you go behind the bar area, there's a big. You put a little flip fire on me because you wanted to figure out where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm by the bar. I'm by the.
No, I see you.
Center. Okay. If you come back here by the the bay, by the force field out the cargo bay. There's a lot of open space back here, but they consciously made the decision, as you can see, not to use this extra open space because it would have made the whole area that we do populate much too spread out. This is a design choice that's very evident and done well. This is the kind of design choice that if you ever have a big party at a hotel, or if you ever got married and needed to plan like a wedding reception, they will talk to you about making sure that you don't put too many people into, or too few people into too big a space, because then it makes it look really empty. So I think it's just really well laid out. It looks like a party. If they had used the whole bay, I don't think it would look as good. So I think
Plus,
they did a really good
they have
job.
to have room for things to actually land in here.
Well, no, see, they don't. So here, let's go back here. Let's continue looking at the design. Because the ships, the cargo, there's a cargo ship out there. They don't actually come and land in the bay. We bring cargo in here.
Oh, yeah.
And these little guys here, what are these? What is this alien race called? Chat room, what are these little alien dudes? They're not Ugnaughts. Oh, you know what they are? They're what are they called? Chat room. They're the Mandalorian. I have spoken. They're those guys.
Well, he's an Ugnaught.
I have spoken.
Are they Ugnaught?
Nick Nolte was an Ugnaught, yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're Ugnaught. They're just Ugnaughts? Yeah, all right. They're Ugnaughts. Well, I don't know why I was thinking that they weren't Ugnaughts. What was I thinking that was an Ugnaught? That's not an Ugnaught. I guess I was thinking of Gamorreans. All right, so they're just Ugnaughts. They're just Ugnaughts. But the one Ugnaught there by the front, he's saying, go, he's carting the cargo on that track. You can see the cargo track that ships the cargo containers out to the freighters that are holding in place in space out there. Kind of a cool little vignette. And these little Ugnaughts are doing their work.
He's like pounding on the plexiglass.
Well, that's
space plexiglass.
No, he's saying, keep on going, keep going, keep it moving, keep shipping them out there. That's what he's doing. That's in my mind. That's what he's doing. He's not like let me out. I need to jump out into space.
I have spoken.
There we go. So that is cool. The design of there's like a little bar up here with a jukebox. There's some casino slot machines that don't work, which we will get to in a second as well, because it would be nice if they actually did work for certain reasons. But this is nice. The bartender is just a regular bartender, and he's one of the vendors down here. The main purpose of all of this Cartel Bazaar area is the vendors. And here's a little map I put together. I'll even zoom in a little bit. I made this really high res so we could zoom in quite a bit. There are 23 vendors down here in the Cartel Bazaar. Many more than I had thought.
You're right.
It is a lot. In fact, on my little map here, when I drew this up this afternoon, I missed one. There's another one by the door here, which is the little droid who sells you the Treeck contract, if you've got that available to you. So there's the 23 vendors, and then there's 3 mission quest givers as well. So we'll visit those. If you are looking for a rep vendor for any of the major events, they're down here. So we'll go visit them here in a second. But you can see Rakul, Gree, Bounty Contract, all of the Jawa scrap vendors, the cartel vendors, which we'll talk about in a second, and then a bunch of vendors and the mission givers focused around specialized companions that you can get. The other place, if you need information on what's down here in the Cartel Bazaar, especially if you want to see what's on the vendors, we'll click on the vendors and we'll preview some things, but MMO-fashion.com, TOR Fashion, if you go to that site, they've got a Cartel Bazaar vendors page that shows you what each of these vendors are, and gives you the preview. They took screenshots of all of the inventory on each of the vendors, which is really nice. So MMO-fashion.com is a good website in general to see this stuff. So if you saw something or you wanted to look, oh, what was that armor? What does the Thorn Armor look like from the Gree event? You can go to this site and scroll down and they'll show you what it looks like, which is kind of cool. So good site, well done. So if you can see here at the very top, they did their own version of the Cartel Bazaar vendor map. I found this about 5 minutes after I made mine.
Right.
Which then I realized that was a little bit of a waste and I shouldn't have bothered to make mine because they have a very nice one. Anyway, here's mine. I have it now if I ever need it. So yeah, let's do a little tour. Let's go back here by the start. Let's take a little walk. This is that first one that I said I missed off of the map. This is the mercenary contract for Treeck. If you need to buy the Treeck contract, I believe this is Treeck, right?
Yeah.
Not HK. No, HK you either need to get through the quest to get HK or then unlock by paying 1,000,000 credits in Legacy. So yeah, this is the Treeck one. So not much on that one, but then up here, this is where the rep vendors are for all of the events. And this is quite extensive. There's a lot of really cool stuff here. And in fact, there's one vendor here at the end we'll get to, which is from the pre-event for the Rackghouls, which you can't even, which isn't in the regular event anymore. But here, these first two are the regular Rackghoul vendors down in the tunnels, with like you need an antiviral kit. I've got about 20 of these sitting in my bank. I buy a new one every time I go down there. They're right down by the guy who says
fresh Rackghoul meat. I mean, I hope not. I hope you don't. You know.
But then for DNA canisters, you can buy Rackghoul themed weapons. Like, look at this cool blaster. In fact, that is a really cool blaster. Look at that green blaster. I should put that blaster on my smuggler, maybe. Yeah, isn't my smuggler?
Yeah, that is cool.
He's got a green theme going on. I'm gonna put that blaster on my smuggler. You got a little bit of some decos here, just some of the basic decos. You've got all of those weapons. You've got the quarantine, the little fence where you put the little racklings that you gather in the one quest. And then you've got the Thorn Armor. The Thorn Armor is really cool. It's one of my favorite armor sets in the game. I don't wear it on many of my characters, but it is a pretty cool, iconic looking armor set. So here it is. This is what it looks like. If you wear this, and in fact, if you go down in the Rackghoul tunnels, you'll see the Thorn NPCs wearing this armor and then like laying prone, keeping their rifles up, scoping out the Rackghouls. This totally blends into the environment. In fact, you probably walk over and step on the Thorn NPCs all the time because it's pretty camouflaged down there in the tunnels. But this is pretty cool. I like this armor set.
And these decos are nice. There's artwork, and then there's this one down here, the quarantine container, which is like a
that's
like
what I'm saying.
that.
It's that little fence that you collect up the
Yeah.
racklings in when you do that one daily.
Or it's like the area up top where you have to go in the beginning when you get the speeder initially to go out to the
Right, the planet side base to start off the Rackling and Rackghoul missions.
And it gives you something to do with your
canisters.
Your canisters, yeah.
Yeah, I do have a lot of those canisters. And then this other guy, then he's got the other. There's actually 4 Rackghoul vendors here. So this guy's got the companion customizations. These companion customizations I am fond of as well. My Vanguard, for example, his main companion, his best girl is Ilara Dorn, and Ilara on my Vanguard has permanently wearing the Ilara Dorn customization. And she looks like this. She's my zombie girlfriend on my Vanguard, which I just kind of find humorous for whatever reason. But you can get a
Nothing but the best for your girlfriends.
yes. Hey, I still like her, even though she's plagued. Oh, there's a Treeck. There's a plagued Treeck. Ooh, look at zombie Treeck.
Oh,
That looks creepy. There's a zombie Treeck. So all of the first companions for every character, and then some of the other additional companions as well. There's a Zenith, who's a Twi'lek. He looks kind of creepy. Ooh, Yoon. Yeah, so come get your companion. And again, for Rackle canisters, DNA canisters. So cheap.
Stay safe out there.
Then, let's see, let's skip over to here then. The other two Rackle vendors. Jilvik. So Jilvik's a specialty vendor that if you're trying to find him down at the event, you have to go into the heroic area in the back of the Rackle tunnels, walk up on top, and he paths around in a little bit of a loop. He can be a little bit hard to track down. The first time you go down there on a character, you can find a data pad in the middle of the tunnels, in the middle of the zone, that tells you, hey, go find Jilvik. This is an important vendor. This vendor has got some really cool items, and these are the items that, for the most part, the best ones here, take a bunch of exotic currency. So this is something like here, the Infected Fractal mount is something I spent a lot of time farming the currency, the exotic currency for, and I really liked, and I really wanted, and it took me a while to get it, many times going through the event, because if you can see here on Jilvik, what he's asking for in terms of currency, it requires 25 Reckle DNA canisters, not too bad, but then 2 exotic plague specimen, 1 symbiotic fungal bloom, and 1 barnacle of the eyeless. Barnacles of the eyeless drop off of the eyeless, but you have to roll on it. Exotic plague specimen drop off the world boss, and then symbiotic fungal bloom drop off of the champion Rackghouls that are down in the tunnels as a rare drop. So you gotta do some work to collect up the stuff to be able to get these. And then you can get the infected Fractal, the infected Dewback, and then like the Plague-tail Kowakian monkey lizard pet. So it's an infected Kowakian monkey lizard. He looks pretty hilarious. And then there's a few other things that are kind of nice on Jilvik as well. The advanced black-green crystals, if you want any of those, are down here. Those are pretty nice crystals. Those cost 4 Reckle DNA canisters each. And some of the best decos, I think, the glowing cave fern and the glowing plague bulbs. So these are a little bit of a light source. If you put them in your stronghold, they do glow a little bit. They're kind of cool and cheap, and you can get them and you can spread them around in various areas. The glowing cave fern's got a little bit of a blue glow. You put it in a darkened room in your stronghold. It looks really, really cool. So, do you have?
I went back to my stronghold to look for my DNA canisters.
So you could come pop some tags.
Yeah, they're currency now. So
I have.
You can't find.
There's a bank access right down here that you could have just used.
Well, I did
Cargo
wonder
hold.
if there was. Yeah, I see.
Although I don't know if there's legacy.
I didn't see a
thing?
legacy. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's just regular cargo hold. There's a lot of other utilities down here if you ever need them, but I only see regular cargo hold. I don't see legacy. There is the Gtn Kiosk. There's the appearance designer if you ever need it. There's an item modification station, which we don't really need anymore these days because you can do that with an unlock, a legacy unlock. So before I go back to that last vendor up there, Seema, I meant to ask you about the appearance designer. Have you ever used it? Have you ever changed your appearance on a character?
Well, I actually have not. Like I made a character once and then I intended to use it because I gave her grayish whitish hair and then I decided I wanted her to have purple hair. And then I so I went to the station and I couldn't change it because she was not a human, and I guess purple hair was for the humans at the time. I don't know now, but that was the closest I ever came to actually changing a character. Oh no, I changed my hairdo on Smirk hair.
Hmm.
So I have used it, yeah.
All right. I have not used it.
So two times in, you know, 7 years, 6 years.
Oh, look, there's a bunch of discounts. Subscribers get 34% off species changes and 50% off a bunch of the cosmetic changes. Good to know. But I am not going to change my appearance. Careful. All right, so back up here. The last of the Rakghoul vendors is this Ambassador Jurek, and it's got a different name on the Republic side.
What can I get for you?
This one's got a bunch of specialty items, which were only available in the prelude to the Rakghoul event way back in the day when it started, when it was on Tatooine and the crashed ships, and it was a new thing was happening each day, and each day you got a piece of containment armor. I didn't realize that you could come here and you could just buy the containment armor. It is now available.
By the way, where the Swoop Rally event is on Tatooine is where that original Rakghoul event was.
Yes. Yeah, right way up there by the Sarlacc pit. Now there's a couple other things on this vendor which are classic items in the game, which it's amazing that you can get them. In fact, I this is one of the things that I kind of was a little mad that they put on a vendor, because I had them and it was so rare and cool, and now I'm not so cool anymore. Well, I was never as cool as I thought I was in my head, but you know what I mean. This, for example, the Herati Scrapper, still one of my favorite mounts in the game. It's got smoke coming out the back. It leaves a bunch of smoke trails. It's busted. There's sparks coming out the side. There's sparks trailing on the ground. That is a cool mount. It used to not even go full speed. Now I think they changed it and it goes regular mount speed, but it went the non-fast mount speed. It is epic. It is awesome. They have
I like the prices on this vendor too. Sort of like one sparkle powder is 5 canisters, 4 bounty contracts, and 3 gray Helix components.
Right, because this is a specialty vendor, it takes the currency from all 3 of those events.
Right.
You have to collect
Right, but
them up.
that's one sparkle powder.
Well, yeah, I don't know who would spend that for one sparkle powder.
But I mean,
But yeah,
red sparkle powder is special.
red sparkle
You can
powder
get
is
the other
special.
sparkle blue sparkle powder you can get on all kinds of vendors.
I think I have a stack of that from when you could get it for real on some character, but I think it's bound. Maybe it's not. So 2 other things on this vendor which are super cool. Again, everybody's gonna be cooler than me because they can get these now, and they already started cooler than me. But let me reset. The Sandpeople Bloodguard armor is awesome. What is going on here? Reset position. There we go. Sandpeople Bloodguard armor. Super cool. I have this set on my Chiss Juggernaut, and this is a very cool armor set, and I think this makes for like a really good Jedi outfit for a Sandpeople Jedi. So my headcanon on my Chiss Juggernaut is that he was marooned on Tatooine as a child, ship crash, and he was raised by Sandpeople, but because he was force sensitive, he ended up going off to the Sith Academy and being picked up by the Sith, but he retained his Sandpeople heritage. And then finally, another of my favorite, in fact, the main weapon I use on my Vanguard, my favorite weapon, is the Kashyyyk's Legacy. So there's 3 bowcasters that you can get off of this, which were the original bowcasters, 4, 5, 6 bowcasters. It's basically it's rifles and sniper rifles and assault rifles. There's no blaster, like hand cannon blaster. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago. I really wish there was, but Kashyyyk's Legacy, very cool. It's the green one. Then there's sort of like the blue model or the gold model. There's the lightweight sort of wood looking model, and then there's the assault rifle versions and the sniper rifle versions of each of these. Very, very cool weapons. It, and again, quite unique and not something you can get all the places. Look at that. Look at the Assassin's Touch. That's a pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
That one that's a sniper rifle. The Kashyyyk's Legacy is an assault rifle, blaster rifle. And I just like it because it's green and it's got the green glowy parts.
Jilvik has this serious backpack on.
Come back
Yeah,
anytime.
he's got stuff to do. He's got
His wares.
he stole pieces of your ship while you weren't looking. All right, I know we're spending a lot of time on these vendors, so we can go a little bit quicker on some of the other ones. And you may all know what's on, what the standard vendors are on some of these, but like the Gree. So there's also the 2 Gree vendors down here. The blue scaling, white scaling, and red scaling armor are great armor sets also. I have pieces of this on various characters still. I've got a combination of blue scaling plus a combination of red scaling plus some Sith Lord robe pieces on my Sith Assassin. I've got a consular that wears white scaling for the most part. It's very cool because this is the armor that has it lights up and it glows.
It was one of the first armor sets to have the sort of animated touch.
Yeah, to have that sort of light source stuff built into it. So those 3 are cool, and then the other Gree vendors got a little bit of the decos, the mounts, the blue spheres, cyan spheres, and the weapons. These weapons are still really useful, but they were always they were super useful back in the day because this is the only place you could get a legacy bound offhand. I think there are other places to get them now these days. But if you needed a legacy bound offhand to be passing back and forth between characters, this used to be the only way to get it. I still really like the gray Helix lightsaber. I use this as my lightsaber hilt because it adds an effect to the blade. If you can see here, it adds sort of like that blocky digital effect to the blade. That's really cool. The hilt itself is only so, but the effect to the blade is
that is nice.
Is nice. And then some of the other weapons, like the just the straight up blaster, the sniper rifle is my favorite sniper rifle, and it's the one I use on my marksman. Where is it? Where's the sniper rifle? Sniper rifle, here it is. Check that out. It's got like the laser coming out the front. It's really smooth. It's got the animation. It's got the flashing lights. It's really like a smooth, sleek design. That's my favorite sniper rifle in the game.
Mm-hmm. That kind of goes with the agent ship too. That sort of sleek, clean look.
Yeah.
Future. Well, yeah.
A lot of other cool toys, decos, and other stuff for the Gree, but a great opportunity to come and get it when the event's not going on. And then the last set of event vendors over here are the bounty contract vendors. And this is the only place that the bounty contract vendors ever exist. And this is one of the... It was around this time they introduced the bounty contract event that they added the Cartel Bazaar, I believe. And this was also the place where you'd come, and I think still is, where you pick up the bounty contracts. But here's where you can get anytime. Then you can come back and use your bounty contract, completed bounty contract currency to get the decos and the mounts. And then there are also some cool weapons and armor sets that you can get off of these guys too. The bounty trackers set, like with the cool bounty tracker hat, is a nice set that I like. And then the contract hunter's hat is more of like a merc set, which looks kind of cool.
I like this art too. It's like this weapons cache.
Take a look.
It's kind of
Everything you see is for sale.
weirdly old-fashioned looking.
Yeah, it's kind of that art deco-y with the text above it, and
Yeah, it's really cool.
oh, and here's where you can buy the carbonite decos. If you want to set up like a bounty hunter, and I've got this in my Yavin stronghold. I've got a bounty hunter room, and I've got some of these people frozen in carbonite decos spread around the room. You can get, there's more than this, but the ones you can get from this event are the Rogue, Smuggler, and Kingpin. There are other ones that are much harder to get because they are old ones that don't exist in the game anymore. I think they came from like cartel packs and stuff.
I had to do a double take because when I first saw the Kingpin one, I thought it said Carbonite Bounty Klingon.
That would be great.
Come back anytime.
All right, so that's half the vendors. Let's take a quick look at the other half of the vendors, and then we'll touch on the just the final set of vendors and quest givers. So the other half of the vendors, and another reason this is called the Cartel Bazaar, is there are 7 vendors over on the other side here, which are all called Underworld Exchange vendors. Each of these vendors are old school rep vendors for what used to be a cartel rep. All of the cartel reps are gone nowadays. They're all collapsed into a single rep, and it's very easy to get that rep, not like it used to be in the old days. All of these vendors, though, they still have for purchase, some just for credits, some for cartel certificates. They have the rep items for those old cartel reputations. Again, some very cool stuff here that you can't get elsewhere. Like here, Darth Malgus Hollow statue for 25,000 credits and 4 cartel market certificates. Darth Malgus Hollow statue. I think this one is bind on pickup, yeah. So this one you can't sell on the cartel market, but this is a valuable item and a great opportunity to go get it. And there's a bunch of armor sets on each of these. There's, look, Mask of Nihilus. You want the Mask of Nihilus for a character? You got to get 10 cartel market certificates, which are very difficult to get these days, but you can get them. Revan's Mask. You want the Revan headpiece, and that's just one of the vendors. There's 6 of these vendors with all of these old reps and all of these really cool things. Great opportunity to come in here, check these out, and find some of this old stuff that you could try to hunt down and try to get by getting those cartel market certificates.
Thank you for your patronage.
You could own a piece of galactic history today.
You too. Why walk on by when you can skip the walking and just buy?
And just buy.
Am I selling it hard enough? Would Kai Zyken be pleased with my effort? Then there's this guy up here. I don't know what the cartel coin card concierge. He just has 2 items for 50,000 credits each. 2 pets. One is a flying pet. It's one of those Pike. It's a fighter jet model. And then one is a crested Orokeet, which runs around on the ground next to you. I think I have both of them unlocked for character and collections. Unlocked for character and collections. I have them.
Thank you for your patronage.
So these are cool stuff. As far as getting cartel certificates, sources say, and I haven't confirmed this, but sources say if you have one of the slot machine decorations, And then you can still buy the coins to use in those slot machine decorations from this Feluzia Stato vendor, which you can put in your stronghold. Sources say it's a very rare drop, but it is a drop that you can get off of that slot machine by hitting that slot machine over and over and over again and trying to get cartel market certificates that way. If you read up on it in the forums, multiple people say, I hit that thing, 200 times and I didn't get any cartel certificates or whatever. I would love to see it confirmed. That would be an opportunity for people to farm some of those certificates potentially. It can get expensive. Those tokens to run that slot machine are not cheap these days. But if you can get a stack of cartel market certificates and buy the Mask of Revan, maybe it's worth it. If you need a slot machine and you're on Starforge, I have my stronghold, my Yavin stronghold is a public stronghold, or hit me up in Discord and I'll let you in my stronghold. I'll summon you there and you can use my slot machine as much as you want. Didn't we put one? We put one on the guild ship too. Yeah. We've got one up on the guild ship. You can go up there and hang out and use the slot machine on the guild ship, at least on the Imperial side, if not on both sides. Okay. That leaves a couple other vendors, but the main purpose of these vendors down here are also these three, actually three. Yeah, it's 3 quest mission turn-in people. MQ-12 down here is who you would come talk to if you had the Treeck contract. You talk to him and he takes you through the story. He introduces Treeck, does a little cutscene, and then you get Treeck. And then if you get any of the creature or droid contracts, and you can get those a few different places, get some from Cartel, you could buy them. If you've got them unlocked on your character and you get them on another character, you get the contract. You need to come down here and talk to either the creature companion tamer or the droid companion technician. As you can see in my quest log here, I have a bunch of them that I had sitting in the bank that I finally bothered to just click on. So I have 3 droids and 3 beasts. So if I came down here and talked to this droid guy, he would say, "Oh, hey, yada, yada, yada. You want this thing?" And there. Now I got a new probe droid. And there's my probe droid sitting right next to me. Boy, that was easy. I didn't think I was going to actually get it. I thought I would just wait and do it later. But there we go. That's kind of cool. Look at that probe droid. Check it out. I'm cool again. I have a probe droid. You don't have a probe droid. You probably
No,
do.
you're right. I don't. No, I don't.
Then once you have
It'd
those,
be fun to go. You should go on CZ-198 with that.
yeah, have the probe droid frighten their droids.
Yeah, they're probe droids.
If you look around here, around the all of the droids and all of the creatures that are hanging out down here, these are all of the companions that you can get. Like here's a bog stalker and a chlor slug and an act dog. There's my little act dog back there. And then in the middle here is this little vendor, which will give you customizations for those creature and droid companions. Not all of them. There's only a few, but some of my favorite ones are here, like the Act Dog Jungle customization. Check this out. This is the one I have. This is my main customization for my Act Dog, which I bring out all the time on my Bounty Hunter. I think that one looks really cool. Act Dog Shadow makes him really, charcoal gray. Then your Nexu. You can get your Nexu and give your Nexu a couple different colors. I liked the desert customization from a Nexu. I think I've got that on my Nexu when I bring him out. The Nexu's the smiliest of the companions.
Yes, he is.
He's
a good Nexu.
Probe Droid Zerka. Probe Droid Zerka customization. So here's the Zerka model of the Probe Droid.
Yeah.
With the Zerka logo on it. Look at that. And what do you got to pay? 10 Java scrap. So these are cheap.
Oh, that's totally. You should go to CZ198 with that, and if someone asks you where you got it, you tell them that you tamed it.
Yeah. You mean people walking around?
Yeah,
Troll people
right.
by saying, "Oh yeah, no, it's a rare drop. If you if you shoot
If you,
like 1,000 of the probe droids, you'll get one. So you
I was thinking
go do
more
that.
like if you stand on one leg and
you
turn
you
around
have to hop.
counterclockwise.
You have to jump over every probe droid that you see.
Right.
All right. To round it out here, one other vendor I did want to mention,
find a
which
better
is a
bargain.
little bit weird and not, it's very rare that you would need to use this, but there is this Veridian Crystal vendor. What happened was they put these Veridian crystals in the game originally. They came out of a cartel pack. And then the model, the art for the crystal wasn't exactly correct. They updated the art for the model, but you had to come here and turn in your crystal to get the new crystal. If you've got that crystal, though, you have it unlocked in your collections for your character that has the crystal. If you just get another one out of your collection, you'll get the right model of Veridian Crystal. The Veridian crystals, there's a little bit of lore behind them. They are the third most rare and interesting of the lightsaber blades. The second most rare and interesting being the white lightsabers, which are only used by a few characters across Star Wars, even non-canon Legends lore, like Ahsoka Tano and some of the some Gray Jedi guards and some of the comic books. The Veridian crystals were just a green silver crystal that was very difficult to get and a very rare crystal. They aren't even mentioned as a primary crystal blade for any particular Jedi. They probably would have just been called green. That's like, if you look it up on Wikipedia, they've got some lore behind that. And the reason I said third is I'm counting the it's not really the same, but the dark blade as sort of the rarest. And then finally, our little buds over here, the Jawa scrap vendors. These guys, so Izar, Manek, and Hadir are the Jawa scrap vendors. There's one for the green Jawa scrap. There's one for the blue Jawa scrap. There's one for the purple Jawa scrap. Useful. You can get some useful crafting materials off of these vendors if you need them for crafting. And you could then sell those materials if you wanted. So you could use these guys to convert your Jawa scrap into cartel, credits.
If you have a bunch of Jawa junk from doing conquest, then you can use the Jawa junk to buy mats to make invasion forces so that you can get more conquest points and more Jawa junk.
Mm-hmm. They also mentioned, someone in the chat was mentioning companion gifts. I believe you can get can't you buy the rare companion gifts for these guys? I thought you bought, no, maybe you get them on Oricon, Osis, Odessen. Off of Odessen, you can get the special companion gifts you need for the creature and the probe and the droid companions. One other comment on these guys, though, you can get these guys for your stronghold as vendors, and they would still work as vendors when you place them as decos in your stronghold, and then they hang out and they will replacement parts right there. Blue one sells them.
On Hadir has replacement parts.
Oh, Hadir does. So
Rank 6 companion gift for droids.
EQR replacement parts. There we go. Oh, okay. Give a gift to your companion to increase influence with them. Nah, see, I would buy one and give it to my probe droid here, but then I would get legacy points on this character for the day.
Conquest points.
Conquest points. Yeah, that's what I meant. But I have these guys in a couple of my strongholds because Jawas hanging out in my stronghold. Usually they're like, I think in my Tatooine stronghold. They're crowding around an astromech, which I just thought was like a little cool little vignette, like they're about to dismantle it.
They're gonna repair it. You mean?
No, look at this table. Are they repairing this droid? They're- look at what they did.
They found the parts. They're gonna put them back together.
There we go. That's what they're gonna do. So, this is just the Cartel Bazaar, and we just basically spent an hour in the Cartel Bazaar. It is a lot going on down here. It is a cool place. It is. What do you think, Seema? Any sort of closing comments, summary notes here on Cartel Bazaar?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's here from the very beginning of the game, but then there's a lot of updated stuff too, namely decos. So I forget to come down here and check for decos, and there's some cool ones down here. So that's the main thing for me, is I need to come down and do some deco shopping.
They should add some tech frag vendors down here with some interesting tech frag
Oh
stuff.
my gosh, they should.
Wouldn't that be
They
great?
so should. Yes.
That would be great. There's an idea for you, BioWare. There's another one. That's our free one for the week. Our free idea for you. All right. All right. So don't miss the Cartel Bazaar. Come pop some tags. That's our note for the week. And with that, I will get this EPC 345 droid kicked out an airlock before our little Jawa friends there grab him and use him for spare parts. So please keep up with us on Twitter at MaxTheGray and at AIESEMA. And if you know any people that should be playing the game with us, tell them to come check us out. AIE-guild.org is our guild website where you can get to our guild Discord. Jump in Discord. We're on the Starforge server, and you can get an invite to our guilds on either the Republic or the Imperial side. Please come play with us and join. We've got our fun night on Tuesday nights, which is open. You don't need any gear. You just need to be able to get to... Sometimes you don't need to be level 70 to get into an operation with us. Sometimes you don't need to be any particular level at all. You can come do fun stuff. We love having new people come play with us on Tuesdays especially. And then we've got about 6 ops teams that always need subs coming to hang out and sub in for people. And then our Friday night group that runs once every 2 weeks to run Master Mode flashpoints to finish those Aerotech mount quests. A lot of fun stuff going on. Come join our guild. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.